A wolf is born right at the heart of a pack. It hunts with that pack, sleeps beside them, and learns every rule of the pack simply by living it. And then, one day, usually somewhere between 1 and 3 years old, that same wolf suddenly leaves. It walks alone into the wild with no guarantee it will ever eat again. Every researcher who studies this asks the same question. Why would you walk away from the very thing keeping you alive? Let's look at why. First, the most obvious reason, lack of resources. A pack's territory is limited, and that territory can only support so much prey. When the pack grows too large, some wolves end up with less food than they need. So the younger wolves, lower in the hierarchy, the ones eating last after the alpha pair and the breeding pair, start doing the math. Less food, more competition, and almost zero chance of ever rising to lead this particular pack. That's the point where leaving starts to look like the smart choice. The second reason, and this one's more interesting, breeding rights. In most wolf packs, only the alpha male and alpha female get to reproduce. Every other adult wolf in that pack, no matter how strong, no matter how good a hunter, cannot pass on its own genes as long as it stays. So a young, ambitious wolf really has just two options: wait years, maybe an entire lifetime, for the alpha position to open up, or leave, find new territory, and become an alpha somewhere else immediately. Should I stay and wait my turn? Right, that turn never comes. Should I leave and start my own thing? Right, yes, that one. So the wolf leaves. And here's the part that should feel very familiar if you've ever watched transfer season in any sport. A talented young athlete sits on the bench behind a legend who has no intention of retiring. Every year, the athlete gets better. Every year, the starting lineup stays exactly the same as the year before. At some point, the smartest move isn't waiting for an opportunity that might never come. It's leaving for a team where that opportunity already exists. This is exactly why players request transfers even from good teams, even from winning teams. It was never really about whether the team was good, it was about whether there was room to become what they actually wanted to become. Of course, leaving doesn't automatically mean a happy ending, not for wolves and not for players either. A lone wolf without a pack has to hunt alone, defend territory alone, and survive alone, at least until it finds a mate and starts building something new. The failure rate is brutal. Most lone wolves never manage to build a new pack. They wander sometimes for hundreds of miles before they either find a mate and open territory, right, or they never make it at all. The sports world hides that exact same brutal truth behind its highlight reels. For every transfer story where a player leaves and instantly becomes a superstar somewhere else, there are far more stories nobody talks about, players who left a good situation chasing a bigger role, but never quite fit into the new system. Same talent, wrong environment, and suddenly they become the lone wolf that never truly finds its pack. That's the real risk hiding behind every transfer headline. It's not just, will this player succeed? It's the same question a dispersing wolf silently answers with its life. Is that open territory out there actually better than the guaranteed spot I already have? Sometimes yes. A mid-level player moves to a smaller club and instantly becomes the guy the whole system is built around. The same way a lone wolf sometimes finds an empty valley full of deer with no rival pack in sight. And sometimes no. The territory looks empty from a distance, but once the wolf actually gets there, it turns out 3 other packs already have their eyes on the same land. So why does this keep happening, generation after generation, pack after pack, transfer window after transfer window, if the odds are this rough? Because for an ambitious wolf or an ambitious athlete, a guaranteed small role forever is often a worse outcome than a risky shot at something bigger. Staying safe isn't actually safe, it's just slower. Which brings up the next question. If leaving is this risky, how does a lone wolf actually pull it off? How does it find territory, find a mate, and build an entirely new pack from absolutely nothing? That's a story for next time. If you want to understand sports the way a wolf pack understands survival, subscribe